Have you ever found yourself wondering how to stay calm and in control while the world around you spins in chaos? In a world that never stops moving, the real challenge isn't what happens to us. It's how we respond. It's not the external noise, but the inner silence we must learn to protect. Stoic philosophy, especially the teachings of Seneca, offers more than abstract wisdom. It provides a clear mental framework for mastering yourself. It's a guide for navigating adversity with strength and clarity. Seneca left us with timeless lessons, 10 practical insights designed to build emotional resilience and sharpen your inner discipline. These habits don't just help you survive difficult times, they empower you to transform through them. So if you're ready to unlock a deeper sense of calm, control, and self-mastery, join me as we explore 10 Stoic principles that will help you strengthen your mind and lead from within. Seek out challenges. What truly defines who you are? It's not ease or comfort, but how you face difficulty. Growth isn't born in still waters, it's forged in storms. As Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Challenges are not barriers, they are tests, mirrors, training grounds. Every hardship you face is an opportunity to reveal, refine, and rebuild the strongest parts of yourself. Whether it's career setbacks, personal struggles, or internal conflict, these moments shape you. But only if you meet them with the right mindset. Avoiding challenge means avoiding the very path that leads to growth. Think of figures like Elon Musk. His path was paved with failure, uncertainty, and risk. SpaceX and Tesla could have easily remained failed ventures, but his willingness to lean into discomfort created breakthrough. The same applies to your life. If you want strength, seek discomfort. If you want resilience, face resistance. The furnace of adversity is where your potential is revealed. Be intentional about what influences you. The people and ideas you allow into your life shape your future more than you might realize. Seneca once advised, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." Every conversation, every piece of content you consume, it's either sharpening your mind or dulling it, lifting you or holding you down. Take a moment to evaluate your surroundings. Do they support your growth? Or do they distract you from it? Do the people in your life challenge you to rise or keep you stuck in comfort? A Stoic doesn't drift passively through life. They choose what and who to give their attention to. They guard their mind as carefully as one would guard a fortress. In today's world, filled with endless noise and shallow distractions, curating your influences isn't optional. It's essential. Seek out relationships, content, and environments that help you think clearly, act with purpose, and live with integrity. Choose your influences wisely. The quality of your life is directly shaped by what you allow to influence your mind. Think about it. Someone who spends hours scrolling through social media is constantly exposed to negativity, comparison, and noise. Over time, it's easy to feel anxious, inadequate, or lost, without even realizing why. Now compare that with someone who reads insightful books, learns from people with integrity, or participates in uplifting communities. That person tends to feel more grounded, focused, and motivated. Seneca put it simply, "You become what you give your attention to." Your attention is your most valuable resource. Guard it wisely. If you want to elevate your thinking, choose your influences with intention. What you feed your mind today will shape who you become tomorrow. So here's the question. Are you ready to reassess the people, content, and environments that shape your daily life? Focus on your response. Life is full of unpredictable events. Most of them we can't control. But there is one thing we always have power over, our response. How do you react when life gets difficult? Do you let frustration take over? Or do you pause and respond with clarity? Seneca believed that calmness and emotional discipline are the foundations of true strength. It's not weakness to stay composed. It's mastery. Take insults, for example. You can lash out in anger, or you can remain still, understanding that another person's behavior doesn't define your worth. That restraint, that's power. A powerful real-life example is Viktor Frankl, an Austrian psychiatrist who survived Nazi concentration camps. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." Even in unimaginable conditions, he found meaning and strength in how he chose to respond. Seneca echoed this truth when he said, "A man is as unhappy as he has convinced himself he is." So the next time life tests you, pause, breathe, then choose a response rooted in strength, not impulse. This is where true self-mastery begins. Say yes only to what matters. In a world full of demands, distractions, and endless opportunities, the ability to say no is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Most of our time isn't taken from us. It's given away, piece by piece, to things that don't truly matter. How often have you agreed to something just to avoid disappointing someone, even when it drained your energy or distracted you from your priorities? Every time we say yes to something unimportant, we say no to something meaningful. Saying no isn't selfish, it's essential. Consider Steve Jobs, who once said that focus is about saying no. By turning down countless opportunities and distractions, he created the space to build revolutionary innovations. The lesson is clear. Protect your time like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. When you learn to say yes only to what truly matters, you begin to live with intention, not obligation. Be a master of yourself. Self-mastery isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about understanding and guiding them. When you fail, do you sink into frustration? Or do you step back and ask, what can I learn from this? When you're under pressure, do you panic or do you focus? Mastering yourself means choosing your response deliberately, not reacting blindly. Elite performers like Michael Jordan and Serena Williams have shown us this. Yes, they have talent, but what truly sets them apart is their emotional discipline. When the pressure is high, they don't let fear or frustration derail them. They stay composed, focused, present. That's not luck, it's training. The same is possible for you. The more you strengthen your self-awareness and willpower, the less power external chaos has over you. So ask yourself, what would your life look like if you could fully master your mind, your reactions, your choices? That's not a fantasy, it's a practice, and the path begins now. You are not a victim, you are the driver. The journey of self-mastery begins with a simple but powerful shift. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of emotion or circumstance and start living as the author of your own destiny. If you're ready for that shift, if you're serious about growth, comment "Master Myself" to affirm your commitment. Let's now explore how we can apply Stoic philosophy, not just to survive life, but to build a more intentional, peaceful, and meaningful one. Protect your time. Time is the most precious resource you have, yet is the easiest to lose. We often give it away, unconsciously, to trivial distractions, unnecessary obligations, and meaningless noise. But once a moment is gone, it doesn't return. Seneca reminded us, it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Protecting your time goes far beyond scheduling tasks. It means choosing carefully what and who deserves your attention. It means reflecting on this. Are the hours you're spending moving you closer to your purpose, or quietly pulling you away from it? In today's world, where distractions are constant and attention is the new currency, guarding your time is no longer a luxury, it's survival. Look at those who achieve excellence. People like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. They aren't busy for the sake of being busy. They protect their time ruthlessly, focusing only on what truly matters. Seneca advised, "Do not be pulled in all directions. Focus only on what truly matters. Every minute that passes is a portion of your life. Don't let it slip away unnoticed." Are you ready to be intentional with your time and start living, not just existing? Do the hard things first. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. This quote by Seneca strikes at the heart of procrastination. How often have you delayed a difficult task only to let it weigh on your mind all day? The fear of the task grows in our imagination, yet when we finally face it, it's rarely as overwhelming as we thought. Stoic philosophy teaches us to meet challenges head-on. Doing the hard things first builds inner strength, frees your mind from unnecessary anxiety, and creates momentum for everything that follows. Imagine waking up and immediately tackling your most challenging task. Instead of stress, you feel clarity. Instead of dread, confidence. This isn't just theory. It's a principle applied by many successful individuals. Productivity experts like Tim Ferriss and Brian Tracy refer to it as eating the frog. Complete your hardest, most meaningful task first, and the rest of the day becomes lighter. It's not just about efficiency. It's about discipline, mental toughness, freedom from the mental fog that procrastination brings. Are you willing to change your approach by facing discomfort first and unlocking the power and clarity that follow? Try it. You'll be surprised how strong you really are. Make others better. One of the most powerful ways to grow as a person is to help others grow. Seneca wrote, "No one can live happily who has regard only for himself." In Stoic thought, personal development isn't isolated. It's deeply connected to service, to using your growth to uplift those around you. Helping others requires us to improve ourselves. A great teacher continues to learn. A strong leader sharpens their character, not just for personal gain, but to better guide their team. Even in your own life, whether you're mentoring someone, supporting a friend, or simply listening with compassion, you grow as you give. Nelson Mandela is a timeless example. His fight for justice wasn't about ego. It was about elevating others. And in doing so, he became a symbol of wisdom, strength, and integrity. Helping others isn't just kindness. It's one of the clearest paths to your own transformation. When you lift others, you rise with them. Practice gratitude. In a world that constantly pushes us to chase more, compare more, want more, gratitude becomes a quiet rebellion. Stoic philosophy calls us to pause, to see the blessings already present, to realize that joy isn't in acquiring more, but in appreciating what we already have. Gratitude, to the Stoic, is not a feel-good ritual. It is a practice of clarity, a reminder that everything we overlook today, someone else is praying for. Seneca taught that gratitude sharpens our focus on what truly matters and frees us from the endless pursuit of what doesn't. You don't have to wait for perfection to feel peace. You just have to notice the good that's already in front of you and recognize its value. Gratitude grounds you. It clears the noise, and it reconnects you to the present moment, the only moment you ever truly own. Embrace continuous learning. Why do some people continue to grow while others seem stuck in the same place for years? The answer lies in the principle of lifelong learning, a key virtue in Stoic philosophy. Seneca once wrote, "While we teach, we learn." He understood that wisdom isn't a destination, it's a way of life. True growth comes not from knowing more, but from always being open to learning. Continuous learning isn't limited to books or classrooms. It's about observing life, learning from mistakes, and having the humility to admit what you don't know. Ask yourself, what have your recent challenges taught you? Are you open to learning from discomfort, from failure, from others, even from yourself? The Stoics saw every experience, especially the difficult ones, as lessons in disguise. They believed that knowledge brings clarity, and clarity brings freedom. Modern examples reinforce this truth. Bill Gates, despite his success, remains a devoted learner. He reads widely and deeply, not for achievement, but for understanding. Because if you stop learning, you stop evolving. Mastery isn't about perfection. It's about curiosity. It's about remaining a student of life, always seeking, always refining. So ask yourself, are you willing to grow through what you go through? Embrace vulnerability. Vulnerability is often misunderstood. We're taught to hide it, to toughen up, stay strong, avoid showing weakness. But the Stoics offer a deeper view. To them, vulnerability isn't weakness, it's honesty. It's the courageous act of facing yourself fully, flaws, fears, pain, and all. Growth begins the moment we stop pretending we have it all together. If we deny vulnerability, we resist reality. And in resisting, we exhaust ourselves. But when we face it, when we say, "This is where I am and it's okay," we create space for real strength to emerge. Think of a tree weathering storms. The wind doesn't break it, it strengthens its roots. So it is with us. By embracing what hurts, we grow more grounded, more resilient. In today's world, vulnerability is often masked behind filtered perfection, highlight reels on social media, carefully curated identities. But behind every highlight is a human being, imperfect, evolving. Brené Brown, a modern voice in this space, reminds us that vulnerability is not a weakness to hide, but a doorway to courage and connection. To open up is not to fall apart, it's to come alive. So ask yourself, where are you holding back? What might change if you stopped running from your pain and started learning from it? Do you have the courage to face your vulnerabilities? Ask yourself this honestly. Do you have the courage to face what hurts you and transform it into your strength? This is not a question of willpower. It's a question of truth. Because true strength is not found in avoidance or denial, but in the quiet decision to confront your pain head on, to meet your discomfort, to stand still in the storm. The things you hide from, the wounds you haven't tended to, they will continue to shape you silently, unless you turn and face them. Vulnerability, when embraced, becomes power. Not the power to dominate others, but the power to free yourself. Cultivate resilience. Through adversity. Adversity is not the enemy, it's the forge. We often seek comfort, stability, ease, but it's in discomfort that our character is truly revealed. You don't build inner strength in perfect conditions. You build it in pressure, in loss, in the weight of what feels like too much to bear. Have you ever noticed how some people emerge from deep hardship with more wisdom, more compassion, and greater focus, while others collapse under the same weight? The difference lies in how they respond. Stoics saw adversity not as punishment, but as a teacher, a necessary test to refine the soul. Seneca wrote, "The greater the difficulty, the greater the glory. Without resistance, there is no growth. Without hardship, no resilience." Think of Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison, and yet he emerged not bitter, but stronger, more centered, and more committed than ever to peace and justice. His pain became purpose. So when life presses against you, ask, is this the end, or is this my turning point? Will I break here, or will I build something new within myself? Resilience is not about escaping storms. It's about learning how to stand tall in the middle of them. Practice the art of reflection. In a noisy world, reflection is a rare and powerful act. To pause, to review your day, not with judgment, but with honest curiosity. That's how you grow. Stoic philosophy places great value on reflection, not simply as a tool for evaluating mistakes, but as a path to understanding yourself more deeply, your habits, your values, your choices. Ask yourself each evening, what did I do well today? Where did I act out of alignment with who I want to be? What lesson is life trying to teach me right now? This kind of reflection isn't self-criticism, it's self-alignment. Even Abraham Lincoln was known to spend time at the end of his day reviewing his actions, asking himself whether he made the right choices. True leadership begins here, in the quiet moments, away from the noise, where you take honest inventory of your soul. In just a few minutes of reflection each day, you reclaim your direction and restore your integrity. Cultivate a resilient mindset. Life will test you. People will challenge you. Plans will fail. Expectations will go unmet. But none of that can truly harm you, unless you allow it to. The Stoics taught that the mind is your greatest stronghold. No one can control what happens around you, but you can learn to master what happens within you. That's the real work. To develop a mindset that is stable amidst chaos, disciplined in the face of temptation, and calm under pressure. It starts with one powerful realization. There are things I can control and things I cannot. Let go of the rest. Fix your attention on what's yours to shape. Your thoughts, your responses, your character. A resilient mind doesn't react impulsively. It responds intentionally. And in that space between what happens and how you choose to respond, that's where your power lives. Master what you can. Release what you can't. Seneca reminds us that much of our inner unrest comes not from what happens, but from resisting what we cannot control, worrying about the future, fighting outcomes already written, holding grudges or clinging to what's gone. All of this weighs down the mind and clouds your judgment. Instead, turn your energy toward what is within your control. Your attitude, your responses, your effort, your character. When you're criticized, you can react in anger, or you can pause and extract the lesson. When you fail, you can drown in regret, or treat it as feedback for future success. Even some of the most accomplished people in the world built their strength this way. Bill Gates, for example, has openly spoken about how his failures weren't the end, but valuable pivots that shaped his mindset and sharpened his vision. He didn't get stuck in what went wrong. He stayed focused on what he could still do right. That's resilience, not the absence of struggle, but the refusal to let the struggle define you. Mental strength is built slowly, moment by moment, every time you choose clarity over chaos, discipline over distraction, and growth over comfort. So ask yourself, will I be driven by circumstances or guided by inner strength? In a world full of uncertainty, those who thrive are the ones anchored by a powerful mind. Live in alignment with your values. Your values are your inner compass. When followed, they bring peace. When ignored, they create turmoil. Many people suffer not from external conflict, but from the quiet ache of living out of sync with what they truly believe. When your actions contradict your principles, you fracture your sense of self. You feel lost, unsettled, and unsure why. But when you act in alignment with your values, even when it's inconvenient or unpopular, you reclaim your integrity. You reclaim yourself. Think of figures like Mahatma Gandhi or Nelson Mandela. What made them so powerful wasn't just their vision, but their unwavering commitment to their core values: justice, freedom, dignity. They endured pressure, injustice, even prison, but never compromised their principles. And that is why their legacy endures. In your own life, you will face smaller but no less important choices. Take the shortcut or take the right path. Seek validation or speak your truth. Stay silent or stand for what matters. Ask yourself, will I choose comfort over conviction? Or will I live in a way that my future self would be proud of? When your values light your path, you may not always have it easy, but you'll always know you're walking the right road, and there's deep peace in that. Mastery as a way of life. Stoic philosophy is not about suppressing emotion or pretending to be unaffected by life. It's about facing life as it is, with courage, clarity, and control. It teaches us that hardship is not the enemy, but the sculptor, that our thoughts shape our reality, and that values are more than ideas, they are actions we live by. Mastery of self is not a final destination. It is a daily discipline, a quiet rebellion against chaos, a lifelong commitment to becoming whole, no matter what the world throws your way. You are the author of your story. These Stoic teachings are your compass. So ask yourself, am I ready to live with greater intention, to lead myself before I try to lead others? Let each small decision today reflect the person you are becoming. And if this message resonated, share it. Like, comment, and subscribe to keep the conversation alive. Together, we're not just learning Stoicism, we're living it. Stay grounded, stay focused, and keep walking the path.